Two men, two lead masks, one hillside, and 60 years of silence. On a quiet hill in Brazil, two engineers were found dead, lying side by side, dressed in suits, wearing raincoats and strange lead eye masks over their faces. No signs of a struggle, no wounds, no poison in their stomachs, no footprints leading away. Just a torn piece of paper in their pocket, with 6 strange words written on it. 16:30 hours. Be at the specified place. Put on lead masks. That note was the last thing they ever wrote, and to this day, nobody knows who they were writing it to. I'm going to walk you through this case exactly like a detective would, piece by piece, clue by clue, and by the end, you'll understand why I said this. The masks were never the real mystery. The real mystery is what happened to two ordinary men in the 2 hours before they died. Let's begin. Before we talk about death, let's talk about life. Because a good detective never starts with the body. He starts with the person. Manuel Pereira da Cruz was 34 years old. Miguel José Viana was 32. Both men lived in Campos dos Goitacazes, a town in the state of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Both worked as electronics technicians. Ordinary jobs, ordinary lives. They weren't loners. They weren't troubled men running from something. Manuel had a wife and children. Miguel had a partner too. Friends described them as calm, hardworking, and completely normal. No debts that anyone knew of. No enemies. No history of mental illness. No criminal record. This is important. Detective-style thinking number 1. When the victims have no obvious reason to die, the reason is usually hiding somewhere close in the last hours, not the last years. On the fateful day, the 17th of August, 1966, the two men told people close to them that they were going to Niterói, a city across the bay from Rio de Janeiro, to buy electronic parts for their work. A completely normal errand. Nothing suspicious, nothing dramatic. They left home. They were never seen alive again. 3 days later, on the 20th of August, a young boy flying a kite on a hill called Morro do Vinta, a steep, brush-covered hill on the edge of Niterói, spotted something strange lying in the grass. He ran to tell his family. Police were called. What they found on that hillside would confuse investigators for decades. Two men, lying on their backs, side by side, arms close to their bodies. Both were dressed formally clean suits, ironed shirts, and waterproof raincoats, even though it hadn't rained. Over their eyes, each man wore a strange homemade mask, made of lead sheeting, lined with what looked like putty on the inside. The masks had no eye holes, nothing to see through, just flat lead, covering their eyes completely, like they were meant to block out light. There was no blood, no wounds, no sign of a fight, no disturbed earth, no drag marks, no broken branches, nothing that suggested a struggle had happened here. Near the bodies, police found a small bag with a few personal items, a notebook, a bus ticket, a bottle of water, and the strangest piece of all, that folded note. 16:30 hours. Be at the specified place. Put on lead masks. Wait for signal mask. That was it. No signature, no explanation, just an instruction, written like a message meant only for the two of them to understand. Now here's where the case gets its name, Euro, and where public imagination went wild. The Brazilian police, and later a small task force, tried to piece together a timeline. And this is where a detective has to slow down and separate fact from rumor, because this case collected a lot of rumor. Because of the raincoats and the strange masks, some investigators speculated the men were part of a spiritual or occult group who believed a signal maybe from a UFO, maybe from a spirit would appear in the sky, and that lead masks would protect their eyes from a dangerous light. This theory grew because Manuel had reportedly shown interest in spiritism and had once mentioned wanting to see a flying saucer. But there was no group ever identified. No leader, no other members, no ritual site. It was theory built on one comment, not on evidence. An autopsy attempt found unusually high levels of fluid in the men's lungs, which made some experts wonder if they had died from inhaling a toxic gas, maybe something related to their electronics work, maybe something environmental. But no gas source was ever found nearby, and the specific chemical, if there was one, was never identified. The bodies had also decomposed for 3 days in humid conditions, which made the autopsy far less reliable than investigators wanted. Some researchers believed the men might have built the masks themselves for a private experiment, maybe testing a theory about radiation, or light, or even trying to communicate with something they believed was going to appear at that exact spot, at that exact time, 1630 hours. This is the theory that keeps detectives awake at night. If the note was written M, meaning someone else gave them these instructions, then this wasn't a private ritual. It was a setup. Someone told 2 ordinary technicians to be at a specific hill, at a specific time, wearing masks that would blind them completely. Think about that for a second. If you can't see anything, you can't identify who's standing in front of you. You can't see what's coming. You would be completely dependent on whoever gave you that instruction. That's not spiritual. That's not a UFO signal. That, detective friends, sounds like control. And when the autopsy couldn't determine an exact cause of death, no poison found, no visible trauma, no gas conclusively identified, the case was left wide open in the worst possible way. Not unsolved because there's no evidence. Unsolved because every piece of evidence pointed in a different direction, and none of them pointed to an answer. Here's the detective's real conclusion, and it's the reason for this script's title. Everyone who talks about this case gets obsessed with the lead masks. They're strange, they're visual, they make for a haunting photograph. But masks don't kill people. Masks don't write notes. Masks don't decide to climb a hill at exactly 16:30 in the afternoon. Somebody or something made these 2 men believe that this hill, at this time, with their eyes covered, was where they needed to be. That's the actual mystery, not the object on their faces, the reason they trusted whatever told them to put it there. Was it a person they knew? A group they secretly joined? A belief they held that we don't fully understand? We don't know. And here's the uncomfortable truth about real unsolved cases. Sometimes the missing piece isn't a secret waiting to be found. It's a conversation that happened between 2 people, in private, that died with them. No security cameras in 1966. No phone records. No digital trail. Just 1 note, 2 masks, and a hillside that never spoke. To this day, the case of Miguel José, Viana and Manuel Pereira da Cruz remains officially unsolved. Brazilian police closed their investigation without a confirmed cause of death. No suspect was ever charged. No group was ever confirmed to exist. The exact chemical or condition that may have killed them was never identified with certainty. The hillside where they were found still exists. Locals still call it, informally, the Hill of the Lead Masks. Researchers, journalists, and true crime investigators have revisited this case for decades, and every single one walks away with the same feeling. More questions than they started with. Why lead specifically, a heavy, unusual material for 2 working-class technicians to have on hand? Why raincoats on a dry day? Why the exact time of 16:30 written down like an appointment? And who, if anyone, was waiting for them? We may never know. And maybe that's the real horror of this case. It's not a monster. It's not a ghost. It's the quiet, human idea that 2 ordinary men, with families, with jobs, with normal Tuesday afternoons, walked up a hill because someone or something told them to, put on a mask that blinded them completely, and trusted that whatever happened next was supposed to happen. That trust cost them their lives. And whoever hero or whatever they were trusting walked away without ever being named. So the next time someone tells you this is the mystery of the lead masks, remember what I told you at the start. The masks were never the mystery. The mystery is who they were waiting for. If you enjoyed this investigation, tell me in the comments, do you think it was a cult, an experiment, or something else entirely? Subscribe for more real unsolved mysteries, told the way a detective would.